I want to bring in former Defense Intelligence Agency Director and National Security Advisor to Donald Trump, Lieutenant General Michael Flynn. Good to see you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, Maria. Thanks for having me.
Congratulations to you. The work begins now. What do you see as Donald Trump's big priorities?
Yeah, I think that Donald Trump, the kinds of things that he has been talking about, you know, and I think it's sort of America first and really looking hard at the kinds of things that we need to do here. You know, as he said out on the campaign trail many, many times, the three most important words that we have right now in our vocabulary, and they need to stay there for a while, is jobs, jobs, jobs. And I've always said, Maria, that the #1 threat to our national security is our economic health. If our economic health is not strengthened, then we are going to be challenged not only here at home but around the world, and that in fact is the case. So he's going to have to really focus on the economy, building up the economy, providing opportunities, continuing to provide hope and inspiration, and basically give a lot of Americans, an awful lot of them that voted for him yesterday, you know, it's sort of that desire or inspiration to achieve the American dream.
Yeah, and then there's foreign policy. I want to ask you about how easy or tough it would be to reverse the Iran deal and also keep the border safe. Last night in his victory speech, Donald Trump spoke of positive foreign relationships. Watch. I want to get your reaction.
Yeah.
We will get along with all other nations, willing to get along with us. We will be. We'll have great relationships. We expect to have great relationships. No dream is too big. No challenge is too great.
And, Lieutenant, already the world is reacting, General, to Trump's victory. One of the first foreign leaders to congratulate Trump on his win was Russian President Vladimir Putin. The Afghan Taliban put out a statement which called on President-elect Donald Trump to withdraw American troops from Afghanistan. Are the reactions we are seeing from around the world positive? Yes.
So let me tell you something. And, you know, everybody's going to play up, a telegram or whatever Putin sent. But let me tell you, you know, in the last, I mean, I don't know even what time it is right now, 8:30 East Coast time. So, I mean, you know, it's between the hours of 4 and 6 o'clock East Coast time. And I'm going to tell you, Donald Trump made that statement in his speech last night, not off the cuff. That's because over the last couple of months, Maria, we have gotten such positive messages from leaders around the world, from Asia to Europe to the Middle East. And I will tell you, between the hours of 4 and 6, I personally received at least a half a dozen phone calls from leaders around the world to make sure that they, that they got their message to Donald Trump. And in a couple of cases, I called him up early this morning before he put his head down for an hour to let him know that. So there's many other leaders, and there's a lot of leaders in the Muslim world. So all these people that say, well, the Muslims are going to be concerned, let me tell you, 5 of at least, and I just off the top of my head, I think I had 8 calls. 5 of those calls were from Arab leaders who said, thank you so much. We really appreciate the fact that, that the kind of positions that Donald Trump has taken. I mean, this world needs U.S. leadership. That's what the world needs. And we're going to have U.S. leadership when we have a strong economy. That's #1.
General Flynn, we know obviously what's happening in Iraq with Mosul. What is your sense of the direction that Donald Trump will be taking in terms of the actions of obviously the American military involved in Iraq and helping the Iraqi forces take over Mosul?
Well, you know, the first thing really is to make sure that the military feels like they have the absolute full support and that the commander-in-chief is connected from that hat all the way down to a soldier in a foxhole, so to speak. I mean, there's a disconnect. I mean, let's face it. There's definitely a disconnect. And we don't need that kind of a disconnect right now. This is not only about unifying our country, this is about unifying every aspect of what it is that we're doing. And I would just say strategically at this point in time, the points that Donald Trump brought out about re-strengthening our military, those are very important. That's not going to happen in the first 100 days, but that message has resonated, and I will tell you that we are going to strengthen our military. And for those, like Donald said last night, he said, for those countries that want to be friends of ours, right? That's a very subtle way of saying America leadership is back. and we are going to continue to lead the way our country is supposed to lead, with character, with strong strategic leadership, and with a real sense of humility for who we are as Americans as well, because that's a big part of our DNA.
General, have you interviewed for a job in the Defense Department? Are you expecting to take a role in the administration?
No, I have not. My objective was to do exactly what happened yesterday, and I've been pretty damn accurate for the last year and a half. You go back and you look at the things that I've said or been a part of, and I'm telling you, I went in yesterday to, early morning yesterday with a real sense of calm, because I knew what was happening internally around the country, and I've been with Donald Trump an awful lot in the last few months, and his message resonated big time. I mean, I think whatever the number is now, 274, 279.
Yeah.
You're going to see an electoral vote for Donald Trump come in at like 300. The number that I laid down on the table yesterday, early morning, was 286. I felt very, very comfortable that he was going to get there. To be honest with you, Maria, I never believed the media, and I never believed the polls, because to a degree, they're very dishonest. I'm sorry, but they're very dishonest.
No, we've been talking about that, and we also have been talking over the last several weeks about this hidden group of people that probably were not being honest in terms of the pollsters. And also, the pollsters were polling likely voters. There were a lot of voters that came out for the first time. So they weren't under that category of likely voters. General, it's great to see you. We appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you.
And we will be talking more. Thank you. General Michael Flynn joining us.